All right. Welcome everyone. Oh, we have an audience speaker named Eric von Cruden from the Imperial Navy. Welcome. We're just doing a little talk show talking why you should join this
Oh,
group.
Get him
Now,
up here.
uh,
Christoph, what would you like to say why people should join this group?
Okay, people should join this group because it's really fun. Everybody here is nice and like-minded and love the German Empire, which is what we're about. And the reason I joined in the first place is I like the Kaiser's YouTube channel. Some of his videos are pretty funny. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Would someone else like to share?
sure. I'll share.
Shoot, go ahead.
Alright, I like this server because it's easy going and I'm interested in all this type of stuff and the community is really friendly and even though it's like quite small, it feels really good to be a part of a good community like this.
Yeah.
That's that's it.
Yes, thank you for that. We are a small community, but if we can get more people to join us, that would be absolutely fantastic. We are a fun and fantastic community. We are soon going to be starting a Friday night talk show talking about jokes and everything. Like, I got a dad joke for you. Uh, why couldn't the skeleton cross the road? Can you guys
Oh
guess?
God, why?
Yeah, no guts.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Wow,
Or get this guy off. This guy off the stage.
that was bad.
Yeah. Told you it was gonna be bad. Yeah. But anyways, back to the main point. Um, we have, ladies and gentlemen, we have the member or the actual chief of the Imperial Navy. Would you like to give a shout out, Eric von Kruden?
Shout out to what exactly?
A shout out to why people should join this community, or why should they take an interest?
Hashtag fuck France.
Exactly. You heard the man. Fuck the French.
That's
Duke
reason
Yeah.
enough for me.
Ukraine.
Yeah. Ooh.
Woo. Anyways, I have one thing to share out, people. This community is a safe online platform. We support, we love history, and you also might like history as well. I've seen some people watch some of my gathering up history videos, which is pretty interesting. Some people like, but if you like to join, we do have historical channels. The Navy is the primary one with a historical channel. It talks about the actual facts and history of the Imperial Navy. Shout out to the Navy. And including we have art designs made by Christoph over here, the propagandist person that makes incredible
Ooh.
pictures of
Crystal.
soldiers that are wearing our faction's uniforms, including the flags were made by me for like the coat of arms, but we've also had the chief of the navy made his own type of naval flag, which is absolutely amazing. Give a shout out to him. But anyways, the main thing we like to talk about in this community is why do we keep everything, like, why do we like the monarchy? My
Why
personal,
do we hate the French?
yeah, why do we hate the French? My personal
African.
opinion, I like the monarchy of the German Empire because it's interesting, its foundations, its background, its history. It's very interesting for me to understand and what was a very powerful industrial empire of the 20th century. It's very interesting, and also it's not one of the greater evils what Germany came to be during World War II. We're against that type of ideology, which many people and groups today unfortunately follow that ideology until they're dead, which is unfortunate. Which these people, we all hate that type of ideology, including some groups, Teutonia, many other groups on Roblox, including many other on gaming platforms, are absolutely terrible. They support these terrible ideologies, including the people themselves, the owners. They're absolutely terrible, including the worst one of all. I believe everyone here will agree with me is the Gary's Mod group. Khrushchev,
Indeed.
yeah,
I know what you're
yeah,
talking about.
it's absolutely terrible. The owner is a genuine Nazi because like he did not made it because he was into it. He made it because he actually was part of the neo-Nazi group in the United States. But generally, I don't think he is a good person at all, or even supporting this terrible ideology, what he calls for his fucking Gary's mod. And basically, one thing he's actually doing, I've seen children on Gary's mod playing his gaming platform, which he is basically corrupting the youth with his mythical propaganda and his so-called imperialism, which even though he replaced all of the imperial flags of Germany, of the Hohenzollern family of the German Empire, replaced with the swastika, which is absolutely terrible. I'm ashamed of that.
I, I concur.
Yeah, like Christoph or Eric, have you seen this group at all?
I
I
have
absolutely
personally
have.
not witnessed it firsthand, however, I am aware of its existence.
Yeah,
I'm
what he said.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Jay the German Potato for inspiring people to fight against this terrible group. He's absolutely funny, and he acts like a generate retard. Even he's a charming fella.
Oh,
I'm a retard.
And also, we have one general commit, one the most goofiest people in the entire server. Eric, I believe you would like to give out the shout out if you know who I'm
To who
talking about
exactly?
to the
Quackers?
audience. Yeah, Quackers. What's your? Why do you?
Uh, yes.
Oh God, the cracker.
The the head of the Air Force at the moment. Quackers. Fritz Steiner.
Why do
He's
you?
unique.
He's unique. Why do you?
He's a goon.
Anyways, why do you consider him to
Why
be
do I
such a
what?
joke?
Um, well, let's just say Quackers is competent when he wants to be.
mhm.
Except when he wants to be is about once every whenever he isn't binging an anime.
Especially girls in Panzer.
Yes, he has an odd obsession with it.
That is absolutely
Quite.
shocking. Even though why does he pay attention to girls in Panzer? I don't see the point of it.
I don't either, personally, but he's done weirder, so I've learned not to question it.
True. I guess so. Now to the next
Well,
question.
regardless, yeah, on that point though, yeah, shout out to the Navy, screw the Air Force.
I
You
won't call
heard
it
that.
Gideon.
Me and the Air Force have kind of a friendly rivalry, if you will.
What exactly is that rivalry supposed to be? Competition for when it comes to recruits or when it comes into
Everything.
everything?
Literally everything you can imagine.
Ooh.
I will compete with him on every regard possible. To be fair, I'm not even sure I have to compete. I'm already kind of winning, but
Yeah, you basically are winning. I heard you got your first Marine, which is
we did.
impressive. Yeah. How
I believe they have already undergone training.
perfect. How elite do you think the Marine Corps will compare to the Air Force Fallschirmjäger force when it comes to the training and combat use?
Well, here in the Navy, we need essentially our own infantry. The Air Force has no such requirement for a thing. The Air Force operates in the air, where, you know, infantry type combat is impossible. They don't have a need for it. Even when we're in at sea or on our vessels, whatever they may be at the time, it is still necessary to have things like infantry in the events of things like boardings. So I feel like the mere fact that ours actually have something to do, a reason to exist, already speaks enough.
Yeah, shout out to the Navy. And next question that people probably will want to hear is, what factions do you guys think is one of the most interesting, or perhaps one that might succeed in the future? Or what's your general thoughts about each faction that we have within this community?
I mean, not to be biased, but I'm a fan of the Navy.
Fan of the Navy, you hear it.
Believe it or
Christoph,
not,
and Ruger Mueller, what is your facts, or what is your thoughts about each faction? Or it's fine if you can support your own. What's your thoughts on it? Each individual one of this community.
Uh, I guess I'll go first. I mean, yeah, I have the same answers. Eric, I think the Navy's my favorite, but
see, I knew
yeah,
I was doing something right.
Mm.
I don't
And
know. I just think the Navy's really cool.
yeah, Navy. Okay, that's two for Navy. Christoph, what is your opinion?
Yes, I feel like the Navy is gaining a lot of traction in their development, and I feel like they will surpass the Army and the Imperial Realms Guard in terms of activity very, very soon. And that's good. That's good. Um, it'll definitely attract more recruits for them, and I'm sure, like with the building of the academy and everything, it'll be very fun to see what they do in the future and how they will
Yes.
perform in any conflict we may get ourselves into in the coming years. So, yeah,
The
that's what
Navy
I
has
think.
already proven quite combat effective in the recently resolved Great War,
Yes, of course.
where we completely and utterly decimated the Royal Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Royal Navy's at the bottom of the sea right now. Channel.
Much of it, yes.
My, I'm gonna here's gonna be mine. I don't have one favorite. I personally like all of them, besides the Interior Ministry. The Interior Ministry is one of my least favorite because the generally they just grab you off the streets, like the GSPF and the police. They just snatch you off of the streets if you're enlisted. They're the most mingiest people you can ever think of. Like, even though the GSPF, or the secret police, the main priority of them is to hunt down like international criminals, but they're not. They're going after military high command. Like, one of the members of the Armed Rulers Guard was attacked by the secret police to be taken into secret custody. So that's why he is not here today, but he is having some IRL issues, which we will not speak of. But it's absolutely terrible that the secret police is doing this, and they need to be stopped.
Agreed.
Now, when it comes into regiments, what do you guys think for the factions who are most interesting? Because uh, not that many regiments have been added for the Navy yet, because we've not been able to have a clear name. The Air Force and the Imperial Realms Guard have got some new divisions, including the Armed Rulers Guard and the Army. What's your thoughts
Hmm?
about that?
Um,
Asking who?
asking you guys, all of you guys, like, what's your thoughts about these factions gain some new regiments to prove, to expand their your guys' force? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, the expansion of any military force within the Empire is, of course, a great benefit to all of us.
Agreed. Now here comes a fact. What do you guys think that the Imperial Realms Guard or the Armed Rulers Guard is a military force? Or
I would say so.
They're a paramilitary force, I think.
and we're speaking the chief of the Armed Rulers Guard. Um, since he muted himself, I'll speak for him. The Imperial Armed Rulers Guard and the Realms Guard are indeed paramilitary forces. And if you do not know, I will share you the history. Well, not necessarily the history, necessarily the background. The Realms Guard is the Imperial State military force. They protect the cities and the states' governments like Bavaria, Prussia. They're all state militaries, and they don't necessarily fight for the military. They protect the people of their own state and their own law, and they have authorities to take over policing powers because they're also the main construction force of of these individual states, including the only protectors. And now for the Armed Rulers Guard, there's also the General Rulers Guard that was created way before I started this community. The Armed Rulers Guard is a paramilitary, also a paramilitary force that is a loyal and brave and honorable fighting force to fight for the German people and for the Emperor. They do not align themselves with the state, government, or military, but they're more part of the royal household. They only like appreciate them, they're loyal to them, and they'll basically fight to the death, even if that
So it's an
case.
Imperial Guard regiment, if you will.
Yes, indeed. But they fight on the front lines. The That's what the Armed Rulers Guard does. They're the front line infantry of the elite guards of the Emperor. The normal RG or normal Rulers Guard is the general elite house bodyguards of the Emperor. They necessarily wear the same uniform, which the uniform, if you guys have not gotten an update on this, the generic gray uniform, actually someone predicted, believe on one of my pages, saying shouldn't the Armed Rulers Guard uniform be a dark stone gray because of the flag? Which I actually agree with because there are dark stone uniforms that the actual German Empire wear, right, Eric? If they actually did.
I believe so.
But yeah,
I'm not entirely aware of the extent to which it was used, but I do believe it existed at some point.
you know. But those are the main priorities and the main background of those individual factions, which they have a pretty cool embassy. The Realms Guard has text, and the ARG also has a little bit of text, but they have a like a like a light gray rose, which is kind of cool. I believe me and Christoph actually debated, or not necessarily debated, but we had a conversation of what should be the new ARG's embassy of their flag.
Yeah, I was there for making most of those ARG flags or emblems,
Which,
rather, whatever.
yeah, the ARG's flag used to be a pink rose, which it was kind of a weird mix between the two. Would you like? I wasn't I'm not a very big fan of the color pink generally, but
No, I'm not generally either.
yeah. Um, but we managed to like I'm not believe you guys know that Khrushchev is part of the government. He's also part of the 6th Polish Infantry Regiment or Infantry Division. He played a key role during the Great War, which he won many battles, including you worked with Frederick Roth, correct, Christoph?
I'm sorry, say that again.
You worked with Frederick Roth during the Great War, correct? During the war planning in Ukraine.
Ah, yes, he was my spearhead into Lvov, that operation.
Would you
Do you
like to
remember the name of that operation?
I do not believe I remember the name of the operation, but it was a success. Your main target was Kiev, I believe, in Ukraine.
The strategic city of Lvov was the first target.
Do you remember his some of his tactics at all? Or like, would you like to share the some of the backgrounds of him? Because these two individuals
Yes,
have never met him.
yes, absolutely. So my division, the sixth Polish division, we
Yep.
have artillery,
Mhm.
and we provided artillery and stormtroopers to assist in flanking the enemy. Um, Roth, on the other hand, just I believe he spearheaded the attack. He had mechanized infantry. So that's pretty much how it went. We took the town. High losses, but we did take the town. Or is it a town? Is Lvov a town or a city?
I believe it's a
It's a city.
city. Yeah.
It's a city.
Also, during the war, Frederick Roth had a deputy in Africa. I'm not sure if you met him, but he was a talented person. He was nicknamed the Desert Fox after the real German general in North Africa, Erwin Rommel. He did not play a massive role when it comes to war planning, but he did make a massive point on the front line. He was not one of those people that stayed back from the front lines. He was basically the man that was on the front. Like
Mhm.
probably one of his most gruesome battles was the Battle of Egypt and Tobruk, with very minimum losses, but he lost a lot of water supplies was lost.
Quite unfortunate.
And also during the Great War, we still have the naval war planner that played a key role in the Battle of the Atlantic. Would you like to share your experience during the Battle of the Atlantic? Have you ever been on the front line to the audience?
Um, well, as the head of the Navy at the moment, I did partake directly on the flagships of certain task groups at certain events. The Battle of the Atlantic, or the various of them. It was not exactly one strategic decisive battle, but merely a series of them against the combined forces of the United States and Royal Navy. Went remarkably well, better than we could have ever expected, considering that we were going against the strongest navy in the world and a very large and powerful up and coming one that is the United States Navy. We suffered remarkably low loss as well, causing them miraculously high casualties. We essentially disabled the entire Royal Navy, secured dominance over the Atlantic, and it is, to my knowledge or to my belief, that one decisive victory over the British and the Americans in the Atlantic secured us the war.
Yeah, it sounds like an intense campaign over the Atlantic. You had a ship design that played one of the most important roles of the battles, correct?
Yes,
And do you remember the model of that ship you created, or do you remember what type of ship it was?
I do not recall the exact name or the name of the project, but I do remember it was a light torpedo boat. I'll see if I can come up with the blueprints here.
And also, one man that Khrushchev and Eric have met before is the Chancellor. Which would you guys like to give your opinion on the Chancellor for the audience, Khrushchev? I think you know him pretty well, if you ever maybe if you've met him.
The Chancellor, is he the one that made the division like that Toad's Core, I think it's called?
I believe so, yes. Or that might have been the War
Oh, him.
Minister.
Excuse me. I I'm confused on who you're trying to. Chancellor?
Yes, the Chancellor. Reinhard Diemel is the Chancellor. Uh, he's the man that you requested funding to do your operations in the key battles.
This is the guy that complained about the money.
Yes, he did. Yeah, it was the guy
Oh,
that complained about the money.
wait, hold on. Let me make sure this is the same person and not. Oh, Herman Voss is the one that
Yeah,
gave
Herman.
me that gave me attitude.
That's the War Minister.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. I have
Yeah,
not been acquainted with the Chancellor, but if you appointed him to such a position, I'm sure he is quite fit for the role.
he is. He manages basically all the ministries until Herman Voss came into the Ministry of War, and soon we'll have the Ministry of Production. Eric, I believe you've met the Chancellor, correct?
Briefly, but I've not had quite enough experience with him personally to really say anything on the matter.
I remember you did you were working or having some sort of debate with the Chancellor and the War Minister about the situation in Japan.
Yes, we were having a civil debate regarding the tactics and strategies that would be used to possibly infiltrate Japan if need be.
And what was the main thing about the operation to kidnap the Japanese emperor, or what necessarily was
Well,
it?
we agreed on the goal was to kidnap the emperor or any other high-ranking military officials that would have been possible to do so at the time. The thing we couldn't agree on was exactly how we would do so.
True. True. And I'm not sure if the operation went successful or if it was a failure. I got no clear update on it.
No, I'm not aware either.
Now for positions. The video is gonna be ending soon. Do you guys like to share what position you guys like when you guys are in, or would you like to share to the audience? Eric,
Position in regards to what?
into your
Yeah, what positions are
faction,
you talking about?
your positions in your faction, or what do you do for the empire, for the military, for the government? What do you do
Well,
for
at the
work?
moment, I'm one of the various war planners, I believe, within the nation. I'm at the moment the head of the navy, or
You're the deputy of the Navy. There is a royal family member that is in charge of the Navy.
for for all intents and purposes, though, the head of the navy.
Basically, yes. And Khrushchev, would you like to share your position, or what do you do for the Empire?
Yes, I am the division commander of the 6th Polish Infantry. They're part of the German army officially now. I command troops from central Poland, and we fight primarily on the Eastern Front. We were pulled from service after taking heavy losses and actually had a bit of a revolt with several other divisions in the area. And it was all resolved, and I'm pretty sure our loyalty to the Empire is greater now than it's ever been.
I do you believe you're also part of the Ministry of Propaganda and art? Is that true? You
That's
make
right.
like
I am technically a radio broadcaster, but yes, I am a member of the propaganda ministry.
yes. And you're also part of the department of the propaganda ministry. You make pictures, basically, you're making posters for the empire, inspiring the soldiers and how they feel. You drawed a picture of a Polish soldier doing a two-finger hand salute. What does that symbolize, or what does that two-hand salute stand for? If you'd like to share that to the audience.
Yes, of course. As you know, Polish military doctrine differs from German military doctrine, and throughout history, we weren't always friends. So to um get Polish troops to conform to German military doctrine and culture, we do have to keep some of old Polish traditions to keep them satisfied, and not have any disdain towards our allies or fellow troops that are helping us fend off the Russians that helped us fend off the Russians during the last war. The two finger salute is just an ancient, well, not really ancient, but it's traditional Polish way of saluting.
That is fantastic and inspiring history. Um, what was the main situation between the Polish and the Germans? Like, did the Polish accept the Germans when they got control over uh, Polish Prussian territories in the east, or were they not really satisfied?
Well, we weren't really concerned about, of course, East Prussia because they're, I guess, more conformed to being Germans and wannabe Germans like Silesia and that region, and that's in the west. But the east, we did want to have Lvov back and Northern Galicia. Is it Northern Galicia?
Yes, I
Well,
believe so.
something like that. That region, Galicia. We wanted those territories back in exchange for laying down our lives for the empire. And we got that and then some. So everybody's happy now. And I think in the future, we won't have to worry about integration that much.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. And I'm shocked how the Polish gave their loyalty to the empire, to that piece of land, to unite all Polish minority, which is something I understand. That's the main reason why this empire was formed, to unite all people speaking of our culture and our language, including sharing and inviting other races such as Romanic, Slavic, and uh, Middle Eastern. But yeah, it's absolutely great. This community has some amazing history, including the ARG has also some interesting history that was posted by me a while ago, but I'm not sure if I have the document. And if you guys ever want to join our group, the link will be in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe. And take care, everyone. Say goodbye to the audience, I guess.
Auf
Goodbye.
Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.